localhost, and this is what we have made till now, right? So ideally, today we have to work with the form, this form, add new shop form, and ideally, if time will allow, we will also work on all shops page, right? So, but before that, we will work with forms. Okay, so hold on, where am I? I need to open the Visual Studio Code. So where is this coming from? Let me kind of go and take a look. Where is this? Because that is where we have this form, right? So uh, ideally, let me go to app component HTML, and inside app component HTML, we have this app header, right? So ideally, it should come from app header. So I will go to the header component, because header component is the one which contains the what do you call uh, form, right? No, it contains only navigation bar. Okay, it contains only navigation bar, and when I click on the home, I go to the home route. Ideally, hold on. When I click on home, I go to the home route. Okay, and what is home route pointing to? Home route is pointing to home component. So I need to go to the home component. Hold on, just a minute. I have control clicked it. Press the control key and clicked it. It should navigate. It should take me to the home component now. It is very slow. I will go it. I will go right away. So here is my home component. So wherein I have app slideshow and app shout out, right? So this is slideshow component. This is shout out component. So ideally, if I kind of go and take a look, this is my slideshow component, and down there, this is my shout out component, right? So I'm interested in the slideshow component. I can control click. So this is my slideshow component. As you can see, I need to go to the view of the slideshow component, because I need to kind of go and implement a form up there. I may have implemented a form. I may have already implemented a form, right? So I need to convert it into a template driven form. So user registration, here it is, right? So I need to work with user registration component. And here it is. Now I'm going to work with this guy, right? This this user registration component. And there I need to convert it into a template driven form. So here's my form, as you can see, input first name, last name, and all that stuff. Visitor, my visitor, shop, things there. I need to convert it into a template driven form. So for that, I need to set up what is the first thing I need to do? I need to kind of go and work with the forms module, right? Inside my root module. So let me set it up. So import statement, and from here, from @angular forms, I need to import what? Forms module, right? Ideally, with the help of forms module, with the help of form group, which is available in forms module, I will be implementing template driven form. So ideally, since it's an inbuilt import, it's an inbuilt package, I need to update the imports array, right? Make sense? Okay, so forms module. So now I can go to the registration component HTML and implement what you call template driven form, right? So for that, I need to give this form a name. Where is it? Where is my form? Here it is, right? So I need to give this form a name with the help of ng form directive. So I can say have found key registered user form, right? Registered user form is equal to what? ng form. Ng form is available to me because I am working with the forms module, and I will also work with ng submit event, ideally ng submit event. So whenever this form is submitted, I would want to capture a JSON object, right? So ideally, I would want to call a function whenever this form is submitted. What is the function name? Let me call it, let's say, register user from home page. Make sense? So ideally, function name does carry the meaning, right? So ideally, okay. And this registered user from home page will carry what? We'll take this registered user form, right? As a parameter. Make sense? So ideally, with you people knowing how template driven form works, you might be aware of what I am trying to do over here. And over here, I will send what? Register user form dot value. That will be the value. So, and for each of the control, what is it that I need to do? I need to give it a name attribute and set the ng model, right? So use ng model directive and give it a name attribute as well. So for this select, I can give it a name attribute of user type and ng model. You can use ng model attribute for two-way data binding, right? Is equal to, let me say, user, right? So looks good. So ideally, I need to kind of create all those variables in my TS file as well, right? So I will create a little while later. As of now, let me just kind of create this name, set up this name attribute and ng model directive. So for this input type equal to example first name, I will set the name attribute to first name and ng model to first name. I am keeping this name attribute value for name attribute and ng model directive same, right? Just in case. And for this last name, I will set the name attribute to last name and ng model to also last name. Makes sense. And in the same way, I will set it for gender as well. And the last but not the least, email. Right, so we had set up all the name attributes and all the ng model directives, right? So let us kind of since we are having a red line, because the IDD, the identifier, the given identifier or a variable name is not available, not declared in the TS file, right? So we will kind of go ahead and do that first. So in the TS file, um, I need to set up. So ideally, what's the form name we have? Form name is register user form of type any. User type number, first name, last name, user gender. First name is of type string, user email. Make sense? So we had set up declared all the variables. So you can see all the red lines are gone away from here. So now when I would be kind of clicking on the submit button, what will get called? This function will get called, and it will receive a value is user register user form dot value, right? So let us see. Hold on. So I need to kind of go and create a function down there, or maybe after a constructor and ng on init I can call it register user from home page is a function. It is a function, and what it will do, let us just console.log the value whatever we are receiving over here, right? So we will be receiving a user over here. Ideally I will be sending this value from here. I will be sending this register user form, this form dot value, that is value of all the fields, as a parameter, right? So that is what I would be receiving over here. So let me just dump whatever I am receiving. Make sense? In the console, let us kind of go and quickly check it out as to what is it we have. So visitor, first name is Prafful, last name is Daga, and oops, what did I do? Did I do something? Oh, the project compile. Visitor, first name is Prafful, last name is Daga, gender is he, email is this. Click on submit. So ideally we should have received the thing in the console, no? So let us quickly go and check it. So we've received an object here, as you can see. Why is it coming as a object? So we are receiving all these things. So user gender is one and user type is one. User gender is one, right? I selected he, and user type is one. I selected the visitor. Just to keep it simple, I can also do it like this. For this guy, I can have the visitor. Rather than one, I can have the visitor. For this guy, I can have shop owner, right? For this thing, I can have he, just so that there is no data type confusion. She, others, right? Makes sense? So for that, in that means that I will need to change it in my TS file as well. So for this, it should be a string, and let me send the object once again. So here I am. Let me clear the console. Everything is saved in my project, right? You can see everything is saved. And I can say, let's say visitor, Prafful Daga, gender is he, email is this, click on submit. So you got it, right? So we got this JSON object. Can you see? A user type, first name, last name, user gender, and user email, user type. So we have received the object. So ideally I need to take this object and send a post request to whom? Uh, to the service, right? Via service to the REST API. I need to send a post request via service layer, via service module to the REST API. That is what I need to do now, right? So let us do that. So I will need a service now. And but before I need a service, I will also need a REST API, right? So hold on. So let us first create a service.